Hello, this is No Man, aka Techmos. I got an idea yesterday. Well, I haven't been playing P99 a lot lately. Until 3 days ago or so, I hadn't played in months, more or less, and I still haven't been playing a lot. But excuse me. A few days ago, I was in Howling Stones in the back of East. I've already made a video of that spot, but I got an idea to do that spot a little differently than I had before. And so I figured I might as well. I was in there earlier today and I killed Drusilla and gated out when I was done. And I've just finished rebuffing myself out here. And I'm going to see about hopefully getting into the back of East and trying out a little something different to kill the name spawn back there than I've done before, to see how it works. I'm not positive it'll work at all. Well, I'm appearing already. But we'll see when I get back there. I'll discuss it once I'm back in the room. I assume there'll be somebody else in here right now that can help me out with an invis reset. There usually is. I'll call them these guys here in a second. I have too many buffs. He just gated. That's lame. Alright, well, I'll have to find somebody else to give me an IVU. I don't think there's anybody down there. I mean, I don't. Well, yeah, I do. I was gonna say I don't really need an IVU to get back there, but it's too much of a pain to try and calm my way all the way back into the spot where I kill Drusilla. So I don't want to do that. It's a mess. It looks like somebody's down here, or that Necro was killing all this stuff and that just left. Probably that guy who just left was. Ah. Well, maybe if I give him a gift of brilliance, he'll be nice, even though he didn't respond, and we'll see. Well, maybe I'll get a reply out of him anyways. I think he's still got something he's fighting up there, yeah. Well, after a little wait with this guy anyways, hopefully I'll be able to... where the heck did he go? Hopefully I'll be able to get an IVU and run my way back into East. Poor little skeleton, getting all dotted up. I'll break his root if I do that, though. Well, this is a fun start to a video, huh? It's kind of fun how the skeletons still go through their passive standing still animation, take their head off and shake it around as they're sitting there getting killed and aggroed on a bunch of stuff. Okay, so hopefully he'll finally talk to me. No. Maybe not. Yay. Man, this is the worst. Like, do I ask the dude again and assume that he just hasn't yet seen my repeated requests for an IVU? Or if I ask again, will he get annoyed and be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, now we're in business. Hopefully his IVU doesn't wear off instantly and then I'm screwed. So I'm going to do the levitate trick to slowly bounce my way higher up in the air here. I'm not sure if you can really see on the video if it... I guess you should be able to. When you're looking at somebody in game who's doing this, it doesn't seem like they're doing anything and then all of a sudden they're like up where you thought they couldn't reach. But you know, by slowly clicking in and out of my window, it changes the frame rates of the game, and for whatever reason, Levitate bounces you up and down at a different speed depending on what your frame rates are. So by kind of taking advantage of that quirk in the game, you can levitate yourself up to the maximum height that you could levitate at before you start sinking. And then it lets you do something like that. And run up here and go into East. Nothing in East except a few of the named monsters can see invis or see through invis or invis versus undead. So I can just kind of charge through here. This is one of the names. Doesn't drop anything worthwhile. There's another named up. The server reset yesterday. And the Howling Spectre, who is one of the good names, he can drop 2 different items that I like to see, is up in a spot where he's practically unkillable for a solo person. There's just pathers and mobs everywhere over there. But he doesn't have either one of his good drops, so conveniently I don't have to worry about trying to kill him anyways. I was trying to decide how I want to do this. There's different ways to get through this door. This door right here is a locked door that doesn't have a key. So I can get through it, and then there's a monster on the back side of it. Well, sometimes anyways. Wanders back and forth through the hallway to this door right here. So a couple ways I can get through the door is I can use the stalking probes and illusion sizes to bug myself through, but stalking probes are really low level, the mob that appears from it. So if I want to do that, I need to, I have to lull everything in this room, basically, otherwise they'll aggro it, and lull the monster behind the door, because they'll all aggro the stalking probe when I try to do that. Or I can just lull this guy and these two, and run up to the door, and nuke the monster that's back behind there, so that he'll summon me. He's almost certainly going to be above level 50. Sometimes he can be level 50, but I think it's the same one that was there yesterday. And so I nuke him once, it drops him down to like 93% hit points. He summons me through the door, and then I CC him, and then I can continue moving into the next room. So it's pretty tight quarters right here, and if I aggro all this stuff, I won't really be able to fight it. Because there's a lot of stuff here. So I'm relying on some luck. I could clear this room out using that mob that I walked past out here. This guy that I killed Drusilla with earlier. I could use him to... my frame rate seems really high for some reason. I wonder if OBS is... I don't know. Messing with my in-game rate or something. Anyway, I could use him to kill a few of these mortiferous golems to make things a little safer, or even clear this whole room and then use my pet to run in there and hit that guy or whatever. But I'm going to take my chances calming 3 mobs, and hopefully it works out. I did yesterday, it went really easily, so hoping these guys are actually pretty low level and I don't get any trouble from them. Recast my trusty gnome illusion so I can see through walls and stuff. And I'll mend my AoE Tosh just in case I have to try to salvage a failed lull. And AoE Tosh is a handy thing to have ready. And I need to try to make sure that skeleton isn't standing here, because he'll be one more thing I have to worry about if I aggro these guys. I'm getting a phone call. Bad timing. It's my dad. I'll ignore him and call him back in a little bit. Come on. I didn't get a bunch of resist doing this yesterday. It was really easy. Just a few casts on each one and they were done, so... Well, this is why I have max charisma. Good lord. There we go. Okay, so now I need to see where this guy's standing. Perfect. Can target him with tab through the door. Nuke, and then he'll summon me in. And a sneaky little way to get past the locked door. This isn't a safe area back here, because this guy does path all the way down to the edge. So I'm going to try to keep moving through here to get into the next room where it is safe, or it can be safe anyways. Getting blurred. He did blur, just from a little mess. Okay, so somebody tried to get in here the other day too, Necro, and he died. Said he'd come back and get his corpse later. But he must have stayed online for 2 hours even after he died because his res timer's low. So now this next room, what I need to do to get back in here is I usually try to calm this hexbone skeleton and this elemental bone, and then I'll use improved invis to get past these 4 mortiferous golems. Oh, I thought there were 4. I don't know why there's not another one on the other side of the steps right there. Usually there is. Kind of makes me nervous. Maybe there's not, and I just always assumed there was. And then I wait for this is the placeholder for the named mob that I want to be killing. I wait for him to path around to the edges so that I can sneak up these stairs and into this back room where I usually will do my thing. I probably need to recast Rune because I got harm touched. The problem is, of course, that if I, again, pretty reliant on a little bit of luck with Calm, because if Calm fails, then I'm going to have at least 3 or 4 things come charging at me. And if I were trying to be the most careful possible, instead of trying to kind of move things along here, I would use this guy as a pet and have him charmed and waiting, so that if I did get an aggro, a crit fail on my Calm, then I'd be able to send my pet in after them, and he'd hit them out in the middle of the room, and none of them would have any aggro except assist aggro on me, so some of them, or maybe all of them, would turn onto my pet and buy me the little bit of time I would need to gate out without having to use a hat. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We'll just see if I can make it work like this. I'll be getting an easy time with lulls today. We'll just try to get off a gate if I need to. Easy. This guy's still probably calm for another minute, so I'm going to zip into the back room and pause for a minute so that I can give my dad a call back and see what he wanted. But then I'll show you my plan. My plan is basically... Oh, he's way back in the corner there. My plan is basically, I've always fought this guy in this room back here. There's 2 mortiferous golem spawns that can spawn as the named golem sometimes, who sees invis and can be a surprise if he's up and you're not expecting him. But I usually would kill one of them, or sometimes even just calm one of them. And then when he's calmed, I would pull this guy using one of the golems inside as a pet. Neither of them are the big guy. So this room, as I've explained in my other video, you can stand in a corner straight across from one of these guys and not aggro him. You can sit kitty corner from them and not aggro. So as long as it's not the named guy, he's got a bigger aggro radius. Fleeing monsters will hit this teleporter on purpose, which takes them to the entrance of the zone and starts a truly ridiculous train. And they what else was I going to say? If I hit it, it teleports me outside into over there, so I don't want to bump it either. I have to repeat my effort to get in here. So I can safely, as long as I keep improved invis memmed, I can safely cast buffs on myself standing in this corner and then just cast my invis again before I sit, so that this guy doesn't aggro when I sit down. It looks like... Oh, no. One of these guys was a pet of mine yesterday, but the last fight that I did in here against the current placeholder was a doozy, and I accidentally aggroed an extra mob, and that placeholder is just a buff little dude. He's level 54, which isn't especially high. It's about as high as stuff gets in here, but it's not crazy. Oops, too many buffs. I really gotta stop. Guess I don't need these or Spirit Wolf. But I think he gets extra attacks and life taps as a little ghosty guy. So he killed my pet that I had back here, poor little guy, and then I just gated out rather than try to deal with him because I was about done anyways. But anyway, so my plan, I'll tell you quick before I go AFK for a minute. My plan is to try to stand. I can try to maneuver a little bit out here. My plan is to try to stand on these tight little spaces out here. Ooh, that guy's closer than I thought he was. This guy here. I didn't remember him wandering all the way through. And this guy's close too. Oh, shit. Bad timing for an invis fade. Anyway, my plan is to fight on those little platforms out there and use one of those two skeletons as the pet to kill the placeholder, so that I only have to kill one thing per spawn. And I think that none of the golems down below have line of sight up onto that ramp. But I don't know if the skeletons across the way, or the one that I had to use to get summoned back in here, will aggro and assist. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. It may be a very short video once I actually try that. We'll find out. And then also I'll still have to try and get to a safe spot to log out, because I like to log in and out to clear my pets without losing my bedlams and runes, trying to break charm and getting summoned and getting hit. And I often will log out for 5 or 10 minutes per cycle to save my buff timers and do other things while I'm waiting on respawns and stuff. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to check the message that I have, and then hopefully it'll be quick. And then I will see about trying my new strategy. What's my mute key? This one. Okay, I'm back. So I'll kind of tempted to do my normal method of killing that placeholder, and then see if I can aggro one of those things out there, and then maybe not die horrifically if I aggro anything extra, so that I could try a little something different maybe too. So I'm gonna get myself ready to go here quick. I'm also kind of curious if I manage to spawn a named. I'm curious to see if I'll get a duplicate or if I'll only see the other names. I'm also curious if my chance of seeing the 3 names that aren't currently spawned will be increased since 2 of them are already up, or if I just have a 0 chance of seeing those and an increased chance of regular monsters and the same chance of the other 3 names, or what. I don't know exactly how that works, but so I like to call them these guys first, at least one of them. So now that this guy's calmed, I can actually sit in this corner safely without aggroing the one who's across the way from me, which is nice. Kind of try to get a feel for what level they might be by how often they resist calm too. These monsters, these golems, can be anywhere from 50 all the way up to 54, maybe only 53. I don't remember, but no, they can be 54. I had one resist Boltrons yesterday, which almost certainly meant he was level 54. So I can aggro the placeholder that wanders past my door if I fight too close to the door, especially if I'm sitting down, which increases the radius that they'll come at my pets from, even though I'm the one sitting and not my pets. I'll wait till my mez wears off on my pet, and then I'll tosh this guy to pull him back a little bit and send my pet at him. I like to give these guys a weapon so that they quad, but I try not to haste them unless I really need to, because they can be pretty buff, and I don't need them to be any nastier than they have to be to get this done. So my pet's 52, and this enemy is level 50 is all. So a 52 pet is okay. I don't want to use a 53, really. But yeah, hasting means my pet will bash more often and swing more often, obviously, and that improves the chance that I get interrupted or something if a charm breaks. So it's nice to not haste these things if I don't have to. When they're fighting most of the stuff back here, they don't need it. The fight takes a little longer, but if there is a charm break, it's less dangerous. They need help with some of the names, though. The Howling Spectre, I think, innately quads and life taps, and the reanimated, Undertaker Lord is level 56 and casts a lot of spells. So with those two, the pet needs extra help, either haste or bedlams and runes and stuff. But the other 3 names are really just simple, easy warrior monsters. So this fight's almost over already. I'll get my spells ready to engage this next guy. Target him. He'll come back around here in a minute. Messes up my targeting. I will park my pet kind of in the doorway a little bit. Other side. Come on, other side, dummy. Other side. That should work. And then hopefully charm lasts until the guy wanders back around. Boy, it's tight quarters out there to try and do what I'm hoping works. We'll see. And I won't be able to... I'll probably still have to come back into this room to rest or log out, unless I'm really on top of the spawn times. Otherwise, when this guy respawns, he respawns over there and then pass around. I can't hide anywhere out there safely because there's a mix of stuff that sees invis and sees invis versus undead, and he can spawn as undead or living or something that sees through invis versus undead and invis. So I can't really sit safely out in this area at all unless I know exactly when respawns are. Come on, buddy. This guy's tough, actually. This is the one that killed my pet yesterday, but I had a level 50 pet. Not a level 52 pet. Now this guy's level 54, and he procs life taps. I'll cripple him. Why not? Yeah, he's smoking my pet so far. My pet doesn't hit him for shit. Oh yeah, I'll just do all of them. Why not? It'll be a good time. I could cast Asphyxiate on him too, but that's probably not a good idea. It's really a better idea to not dot things when you're fighting as an enchanter, right? It kind of feels like my pet's having an easier go at him with the debuffs. I mean, I debuffed his dex by like 100 and his agility by like 100 and his strength by like 150. You'd think that would make a difference, but I don't know if it really does or not. God, he's tough. Did that thing hit me? I guess it was just a block sound. I've had augment on myself for the extra AC it gives. It gives me like 60 AC, so it's fairly significant. Or, well, it's a significant number. I don't know if it has a significant effect in the game, actually, but... Yeah, no wonder this guy killed my pet yesterday when I got an ad. So I'm going to camp out in the corner over here to clear my pet. Nah, I won't. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. So color flux is the lowest level stun. It casts in only a second, but it isn't a long enough duration stun that I can get a mez off before it wears off. But when I'm fighting back in, I like to mem that as an extra and use it as the first stun. And assuming nothing resists it, it's nice because it gives me enough time to cast another one of the stuns that does last longer, and it slightly improves my chances of not getting slightly improves, anyways, my chances of not getting bashed while I'm casting that stun. And he doesn't want to blur, so I'm going to actually have to use the real one on him. Oh, there he blurred. You can tell he's regenerating 5% per tick. That means he's not aggroed on anything. Oh, I shouldn't even have had Theft of Thought here. There's nothing, unless I get a named, there's nothing back here that casts spells. Oh no, there can be. In this room, there's nothing, but the placeholder could, and the other mobs out there could, but they're not currently, but they can. But I like to have that extra slot freed up for color flux when I don't absolutely need. Theft of thought. I'm trying to think if I need to recast any buffs before I go out there and try to do stuff. I probably should recast these two. They're my shortest duration buffs other than the ones that just wore off that I recast. Yeah. Just trying to decide if I like my buff order. I don't really have any junk buffs up top, which, you know, usually is nice to have, but yeah, there's nothing that's a caster right now anyways. I forgot to check the time to see what, hold on, let me look at my logs quick to see what time I killed that placeholder at. I'll have a respawn at 12:59. So I got almost 20 minutes to mess around out there before I have a respawn that I have to worry about. And it'll be interesting. We'll see if I get horrifying aggro by trying to fight out there or not. So yeah, like I said, yesterday I ran around out here a little bit with IVU up just to see, like, you know, what angles I had to work with, you know. I'm not sure exactly, like, I don't know if these things see through this little lip or if that obscures their line of sight. I don't know if the line of sight is to, like, center of mass. So, like, on these skeletons, like, if that area right there has a line to that golem, if it'll assist. But since I'm short, if it's different. I mean, seems like he can't see me when I'm right here. Or he would have aggroed by now. But I'm a little worried that directly aggroing this guy is going to aggro stuff from down below. It's pretty close. And then also they're close. I think they're far enough apart here that they won't. If I had my pet fighting right here, it might aggro this guy. I mean, I know that I've aggroed this guy from in the back room before, right? So when I had my charmed mortiferous golem, and he was sitting, like, guarding right here, and then I'd send him out after the pather as he came past. I've sent him at points where it aggroed that guy as an assist. So what probably happened was that when the times that's happened is that the pather was still, like, right here when my mob came around the corner and drew direct aggro from this thing. And then that assisted this one. That seems like a pretty long distance. I'm kind of surprised that that would happen, but I've seen it happen, so I know I need to be careful about it. So what I think I'll do is I'll just... I guess I'll just load up Rapture. And Tashan, Wind of Tashania. And where is Rapture? There it is. And I'll Rapture this guy to see if I get this guy aggroed also. And this guy. Rapture won't resist, so I won't have to worry about this guy charging over at me for several seconds anyways. I'll be ready to head out if I aggro the whole room. I'm not going to be able to deal with it. I shouldn't get everything because it won't. It'll just be assist aggro. But oh, I'm dumb. All right, I'm out of here. So that was stupid because I obviously was close enough to that guy that I aggroed him directly. But it did both of those guys assisted. So now I know that my little method of fighting right on the spot instead of that thunder is loud. Now I know that my idea is not going to be... I can't really turn it down too much either. Now I know that's not going to work. So anyway, that was my video. I'll probably go recharge my hat, go back into the entrance of Howling Stones, and test charm something and use. You can find out if there's monsters up in the zone you're in if you know their exact name and you charm something by charming something and then doing pet attack. And if Drusilla Sethir would have been in the zone and I had her charm, my pet would have said attacking Drusilla Sethir master, or attacking Drusilla Sethir's pet master, since they both have the same spelling to that point. Or you could do, so like, you know, it's easy to check for all the names in Howling Stones without checking everywhere, because you can pet attack Embalm, pet attacked the Crypt, and that'll be the Crypt Excavator or the Crypt Worm. Pet attack a Howling Spectre, pet attack, you know, Drusilla. It's, so you can, I'll go do that to make sure that there's no named respawn that I want to kill. I should have probably waited, but just to make sure I didn't have something up with a weapon, because you know, even if the Crypt Worm, Crypt Excavator spawns back there, there's a decent chance he won't have a drop, but I'll get back there and kill him anyways if I see him, so. But yeah, now I need to go recharge, and not much to see at this point, so that's the end of my quick little video. Boring, but yet another time of me trying to ease my way back into making videos. I know that some people have been requesting, I don't have anything to say. People have been requesting I do more videos, of course. I get people here or there sending me messages every time I start playing P99 again after not having played for a while, saying, you know, that they like the videos and they're waiting for me to do more, and you know, but I haven't been playing, obviously. But yeah, I'll see if I can do some new videos in new places. Siren's Grotto and Velks are basically the two. I guess Sky Shrine if I want a trash faction. I haven't done one in Chardock. I've only done one in Sevalus, I guess. I haven't done a higher level one in the hole, but there comes a point where it's not terribly much fun for me anymore. Soloing in the back of the hole, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. That sounds like I need to have a cleric logged out on call, and I need to have a level 1 Brill halfling alt to drag my corpses, and you know, Siren's Grotto, the same thing. I need a cleric there to get me rezzed up, and I'm gonna level up Enchanter that I started to level up for Old Lang Syne. I'm gonna finish getting him to 8 so that he can come in and alliance the stuff in Siren's Grotto to drag my corpses when I'm doing videos in there. It needs a few more levels still. But when I get to that point where I can't move through the zone solo without it being death half the time, or where I can't do my own corpse run with gear that I have in the bank or whatever, then it stops being fun for me. I take very seriously my soloing. And, you know, I get a little help here or there, but if I have to go out of my way to deal with the zone by getting reses and corpse summons and corpse drags on a regular basis and stuff like that, it's just not something I have a lot of fun with anymore. So we'll see how much of a video in like Hole or Siren's Grotto I do, but I don't have a ton of motivation to make videos right now anyway, so it might be slow coming. But oh well, I'm just obviously running across DC to go recharge my hat in Freeport, and so I'm gonna cut the video off here, and I'll see about getting it uploaded to YouTube while I wait to see if there's anything in Howling Stones I want to kill.